Hey, Jenna Pecor here with Generosity Estate Sales. And a question that I get asked frequently is how do you know how much a sale is going to make when you walk into a house and you look around? How do you know how much money that a sale is going to make? And the very quick answer is you don't. You can tell a little bit by the size of the house, by the stuff that you see. It'll give you a little bit of an idea, but after doing this for 10 years, I will say sales surprise me all the time. And it's hard to decide when you walk in, like coming up with any type of number. Um, you can tell when you walk in if a house is pretty barren and there's not a whole lot of stuff there. Like, as an example, I walked in one time and it was a really nice house. A guy had lived there by himself. He was a bachelor. He had a bunch of really nice furniture, um, and a really nice TV set up, a lot of electronics. The furniture itself was like it was leather, but he had two cats that had scraped up the back. We knew from the get go that was probably going to be just a dumpster. Just take it out to the curb. But he had gotten a brand new dining room table, brand new china hutch that didn't have any dishes in it, two rooms of brand new bedrooms set. But he didn't have any, like, and he did have a lot of stuff in the kitchen, but he didn't have any tchotchkes. And tchotchkes are just the little bitty things that, the little knick-knacky things. He had none of that. His garage was, it had more stuff in there than I had originally anticipated. A lot of stuff was hidden behind other stuff, and you'll find that a lot when you walk in someplace. You kind of think when you walk in, there's a lot of stuff there and there's not that much, or there's not a lot of stuff there and there's more stuff than you thought. And then he had a lot of clothes. His clothes were interesting because men are creatures of habit. This happens frequently, where it's like they'll find that one pair of shorts that they want that fits them really, really well, that one brand, and they'll buy like 17 pairs of the same exact shorts. This guy had like 50 of the same exact khaki shorts and khaki pants in the same exact brand. A lot of them still had labels on them. I would assume that he just never got around to washing them and just bought them because maybe they were on sale. They were nice. They were nice pants. And then, a lot of like golfing shirts, same kind of golfing shirts. It was Nike Dry Fit. I remember, and he had it every color, every possible stripe design. He had it, the whole thing. So a lot of his stuff was very nice, but I knew that it was going to be tricky to get a whole lot of money out of the furniture. And because he didn't have a whole lot of tchotchkes, you're not going to have a whole lot of dollar and $2 and $3 purchases. So what's really surprising, so the outcome of why I told you that story is I knew that this was going to be tricky because the bulk of the stuff that was there was furniture, and furniture is notoriously hard to sell at estate sales if it's certain types. So in furniture, again, this is kind of depends on where you live, maybe, or if you catch the right buyer, online, who happens to see that you have a certain type. But all of this stuff was brand new stuff that you could get at like a rooms to go or an errands or something like that, where it was just basic looking, nice, but basic looking furniture. And the issue with furniture is people have to be able to get it and pick it up and transport it. And furniture is just large. And so when you have the option of paying good price for a used set at someone's house and then buying it full price at a rooms to go where you can have it delivered and put together for you. So that was going to be something that was going to be challenging. And we didn't end up selling the china cabinet at all because the china cabinet was big and beautiful, but a lot of people have a hard time with china cabinets now. So I knew when I walked in, I was like, this is not going to do great. And for an estate sale, like a physical estate sale, there wasn't a whole lot to shop for. And people, when they walk in, I could tell we're going to walk in and walk probably back out. Because people love to shop for all those little trinkets and things like that and stuff in the garage. So what I suggested was that we do an online estate sale and give the furniture time to sit. And it ended up working out a lot better. But I could tell when I walked in that it was going to be a challenging physical sale. The other thing that you can tell when you walk in is, even though there might be a lot of stuff in it, like if you're in an area that is not a great neighborhood, but you have a lot of really good stuff in the house, that stuff is not going to sell for as high as you might think. People are going to drive into the neighborhood and then drive right back out. I've had that happen before. Um, so it just, the amount of money that you anticipate when you walk into a house is going to depend on things besides just what you think the value of all this stuff is. A lot of it has to do with things outside of that. um, and so the best that you I can say is there's only been a couple times that I've walked into a sale and I knew that we were going to make at least 15 or $18,000 because of the size of the house and the stuff that was inside. They had enormous collections of Pez, lots of collections of Fiesta ware, a huge uranium glass collection, lots of brand new toys. Like there was a lot of things. They were online shoppers and they had a ton of stuff. And we knew that we were going to make a lot of money off the sale of that house if we advertised it right and priced it right. But the ones that are like the smaller ones, like you walk into a house and you think, okay, this is like a typical 2,000 square foot house. This woman's lived here for years and years and years. All this stuff is older. You know, it's you're just not sure. And so the best that I can tell people is what, like, before you sit down and really sign an estate sale contract, ask yourself, and I am going to start asking this too, how much do you think that this is going to make you off the sale of your house? So we can make sure that our expectations are on the right place. Because I can, like, if I walk into a 2,000 square foot house and everything is older and this person says that they think they're going to make $20,000, I can guarantee that's not going to happen. So you can tell just by walking in that you're not going to hit those big numbers. But when it's less than $10,000, it really just depends on so many things. It depends on the location. It depends on how much it's advertised. Do you have buyers for all the things that are in the house? What is the condition of all the items? If like you have a bunch of antiques, but they're all in bad shape, you're not going to sell as much. Um, and then, how much foot traffic do you have, coming through there? Is it in an area where someone is going to want to actually shop? Um, or is it in a bad neighborhood? Is it somewhere that's kind of outside the beaten track and it's going to be hard to find? And are you pricing it too high or pricing it too low? So there are all these factors. Is there weather related? So is it freezing cold outside and nobody wants to go shop? Or is there construction right down the street that makes it hard to get to the location? These are all things that I had one time where it was in the middle of summer and the air conditioner broke on the very first day. So people were literally walking in and then walking back out because it was burning up hot while we were waiting for the air conditioner and the air conditioner repairman. And a lot of times that very first day is when people come in to kind of peruse and they'll buy the stuff that they want to buy, but then they'll come back the second or the third day. So we did not have a whole lot of second and third day traffic, which is really upsetting because it really did affect the outcome of the sale, but there's nothing that you can do about that. So the thing that I tell people at the beginning is the only thing that I can control, I know that I can tell you with 100% certainty is that every single item in this entire house will be priced. Every single item will be organized. You will get really good quality pictures on online listings through the estatesales.net site, through our Facebook page, um, any of those social media places, to our followers in our newsletter. You'll get all those things. We will make sure that the stuff is clean, that it looks good, and that's about as good as we can do. Outside of that, when you've done everything else, the outcome of the sale is really going to depend on more than just, the things that you have control over. But when you walk into a house, you'll start to get an idea maybe about how much you think you'll do, but then you'll never know because you might open a closet door and it's got a huge coin collection that's worth like $1,000 and you start your sell off that way. And then all of a sudden, before too long, you're just finding all these little valuable things. And that's happened to me before too. So the best thing I can tell people is go over the expectations with your estate sale company beforehand. Make sure that you're not way off. And we do try, like when we walk in, we try to go, okay, what do you think the sale is going to do? Just to see how far off that we actually are. And sometimes we're kind of close and other times we're kind of far off. And other times we don't agree. Like one person will say, "Oh, I think we're going to do 5,000," and the other person say, "I think we're going to do 7," and we end up doing 9. I mean, and it's happened the other way too. It's just so after doing this long, there's really not an answer to that question that I can tell you solidly. And a lot of this is just going to be based on experience, like how many sales are you doing, and you're just going to kind of know. So just don't make any outcome predictions with clients if you're an estate sale provider, because you don't want to get a number in their head that they might not have. But you also want to see, like, what are you expecting to get out of the sale? Because if it's an astronomical number that you know very few of your sales have ever done, you definitely don't want to put that idea in their head and have that expectation, because they will be disappointed by the end. So I hope that helps you today if you're in the market for trying to choose an estate sale provider. But if you do need an estate sale in North Texas, you can click on the link below and it will take you to our webpage, and you can shoot me a message or send me an email. Let me know that you're interested, and I'll be happy to kind of go over the process with you and see if your house would be a good good contender for an estate sale. Have a great day. Bye.